Just like that, I'm back with you live here in the studio. It is Studio 104 Live, the weekly update here with you guys, your host, JT, me. And I'm hanging with you guys for a good solid 60 minutes probably because we got a lot to chat about. We had a big show over the weekend. I don't know if you knew that or not. And if you didn't, I don't know where you've been, but we had a show. And I say that because there's so many qualifying things that make a show, a truck show, that's successful. And I'd like to think we had pretty much all of them. If you went down the checklist, I think we hit all the boxes and then some. Just a great weekend, get together, opportunity to see one another. It's the West Coast thing, guys. I mean, it was such a big West Coast thing, and that's what's cool about uh, being out on the West Coast. 10-4 magazine, trucking for kids, 23 25, 30. What am I saying? 30 years, man. 30 years of magazine and what, 43 years of truck show. I think we got it all covered, man. So, Dougie, what's going on, by the way? Saying hi to everybody. Shannon, Miss Shannon in the studio. Miss Annette in the studio. What's up, Annette? Had a great time hanging out with the Magini clan. Gadelli, as Annette is, with Roger, her husband. Great guy. Love Roger. Stephanie, the diesel addict in the studio. And, of course, was with us all weekend handling everything at the gate. Y'all came in and got into the show. Y'all met Miss Stephanie Haas. So good on you. Oscar, what's going on, buddy? You know, the racing was top notch again. I mean, just continues to get better. So congratulations to all you guys out there on the 8th mile. Dan Lenz, of course, our fearless leader, hanging with Miss Shannon, and they'll be together today in the studio. So can't wait to see that. Aaron, what's going on? You know, I got to, now that I'm seeing all of you guys, it kind of struck a nerve. I want to say a shout out to everybody that did make it. Um, Everybody that didn't make it. And I'll tell you what, man. I mean, so here's my firsthand real life experience traveling southbound on Thursday, Friday, Thursday, and I'm traveling southbound to Motown because I'm gonna hook up with my gal in Modesto, and northbound goes Mojito, and this was in Stockton. I was just passing the old Cherokee Truck Parts there, Cherokee Bob's place, Crazy Bob, whatever name you knew him by, and honking my horn and laying on it, saying howdy and shouting out to Bob. And northbound goes Mojito. So I got on the phone and called and talked to him and Cody Davis, of course, you know, a driver owner of that truck, and that truck was looking large going north. I mean, I had to make sure it was him, and sure enough, it was. So unfortunately, and in this case, this is what happened. There was a lot of guys that had to work. Mojito, one of them, hauling bulls to Nevada. Guys broke down that were on the way. Holy crap, man. You know, the dog ate the homework, man. You know, whatever could happen kind of did for a lot of our guys, and we're really bummed that they didn't make it, but we're super happy about everybody that did. So can't wait to get Dan and Shannon here and get their take on everything. And I know they've got all these numbers and analytics and all that good stuff. Tim Siebes, what's happening? And Miss Jean Osugi on the show. Is good to see Jean, of course. Anytime I see Gene, it's a good day. So thanks, Gene, for showing up and getting a chance to hang out a little bit. Tim Sieben will get you in the studio here too, buddy. So exhibition wise, man, we had some cool stuff going on. Kelly Bar Anderson, the crazy queen of Irwindale there down in Irwindale, California, in that hot rod Camaro. I unfortunately, I shouldn't probably even know this, I didn't get to see her run because I was running myself doing what I do at the show, and so I didn't get to see that. But she apparently had a really good run, and she's going to tell us all about that here in a minute as well. And then our NHRA funny car didn't get to run, but did a little cackle for us. Couple of starts at the show on Saturday. Sunday they just didn't feel like they could get that car out there safely. So it was just on display and looking good and looking fast, even sitting still. So hopefully we'll get those guys back. We get them back every year, but watch for those guys, man. They're not at all the races on the circuit all year long, but they are at a few select runs, and I don't know if they're done for the year or not. They hit the Winter Nationals, they hit Las Vegas. I can't recall if they hit Arizona or not, but we'll look for those guys. And everybody, you know what? Root them on, man. That's the home team. We want to see those guys make it on a Sunday for eliminations, get through times, and get into Sunday's racing. So, all right, listen, and I want everybody on here right now, man. Ping your friends, share the show that you're watching right now. Want everybody to know what's going on and that we're out here and we're talking about last weekend and Truckin' for Kids, and we'd like to have their comments and observations, especially if they were at the show, obviously. So that's going to be my goal today, is get everybody clicking along and chatting along. First, I want to bring in Dan and Shan, the Dan and Shan Show, direct to you from up in the foothills up there in the Yosemite area, I guess is correct, right? Is it kind of, sort of?
Yosemite adjacent.
No, it's more Kings
by the big
Canyon.
trees, right?
We're more, we're more Sequoia.
Sequoia, yeah. The other thing that's cool about where you guys are at is that Big Cat reserve that's preserve that's up there.
Yes.
I see stuff on Facebook Reels all the time, and some of the stuff, I don't know if it's from those guys or not, but the cats look familiar. You know, they look real happy and fat and content. And most of those cats.
If those cats made an escape, they'd end up in our backyard pretty quick. Because as the cat runs, they're only about 2 miles that way.
I think those cats, if they did anything and went anywhere, they'd probably get out long enough to look around and go, yeah, I'm going back.
Could you imagine seeing a lion in your backyard or a tiger or something?
Yeah. No, and for those of you, obviously nobody but us knows, we had a little 10-4 weekend retreat back a few years ago, and one of our events that we had was an outing to the Big Cat
Cat Haven. It's called the Cat Haven.
Cat Haven, and so check that out, guys. It's definitely worth a day of get the family together, go check it out. It's the most, I think, closest, intimate experience I've ever been to with animals like that. So a good place to go. So let's go, man. Truckin' for Kids, huh? What a weekend.
It was awesome. It was so good.
Blur would be the word I would describe.
For Dan, it kind of went like this.
What happened?
Yeah. Your head was on a swivel, buddy. Yeah, no, your head was on a swivel, and I'm not the first to say, but I'll say it publicly. Great job, Team 10-4. Many props to you from me on many levels, and everybody I spoke to. Not a bad word, comment, or otherwise was said to me about anything going on this weekend. So congratulations. There's one of those boxes checked on. Did you have a successful show? Yeah, for sure.
Good. Yeah. Well, we certainly didn't do it alone, and we have a giant litany list of thank yous that at some point today we'll drop in. But there's lots of people to thank.
Yeah, I'll leave that one to you. I ran through the list of our vendors on site and different sponsors along the way and everything, leading up to the show. I'll let you be the closer on that one and run through everybody, because I know how things can change. So make sure you hit that up. It was great seeing so many people show up that did get to make it. Unfortunate those that didn't, but the ones that did, man, it was like a little reunion going on there. And for me especially, I wasn't there last year, so this was nice to be able to rekindle and refresh and let everybody know, hey, JT's okay. I'm still here.
You were there.
Yeah,
no,
thanks.
It's good to see everybody, and we don't get to see everyone, but a couple times a year. So it's fun.
Yeah, and that it's the home show. That is the home show. And for years before 10-4 Charities took it over, it was the home show for 10-4 Magazine, right?
Oh, definitely.
So, yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, well before we acquired the show, we've been going as media sponsors, vendors, coverage for, I don't know, 28 years.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That's a minute. That's a minute.
Just a bit.
It feels like a minute. I'm not gonna lie. It just feels like a minute.
And listen, I'm not, I hate to bring up like negative, but damn it, I wish that hotel we stayed at would get it together, man. I'll tell you what, 4 days the elevator was down, and we paid for it while we were there over the weekend. So I'm not going to name them. I'll just say, God, get it together, guys.
I think last year we only had one elevator too, so maybe it's been broke for a year.
Yeah, a year and 4 days, right? Yeah, I don't know, man. I asked the guy who was standing there that spoke English on my floor, and I said, "Hey, how long?" He said, 4 days. He goes, "We're I get it, man." I said, everybody's fighting it, and I that was hilarious when we were all leaving to go to breakfast Monday morning. And the door on the elevator opens up, and there's everybody for Team 10-4. You guys are looking at me like, you ain't getting on this elevator. And I'm like, hell if I ain't. I got on, man. I'm not waiting.
Yes, you did.
It didn't bother any of us, but the two strangers in the corner, I think they were a little crowded.
Are those the guys that had their back to me?
Yeah, maybe.
They could have been. So this was a cool thing for me to see for you guys too, by the way. I mean, not just the friends and those that are considered family, but quite the family reunion for the Lynn's clan. I mean, you guys kind of, had quite a crew of your family. How did that take place? Did you just call everybody, go, hey, yo, you're coming, you're working, that's it? Or
it just happened to where like his sisters, I told them what we were doing, and they're like, we want to volunteer. We want to help. How can we do it? And then of course the kids have been doing it since, they were born. So, I was like, you guys should come. And then, then his dad and his mom and my mom, they just, I told my mom that she had to help.
I think she's watching. Hi, Polly. Thank you, Polly.
Last year, she, ran the whole kids zone. So, I can't believe how much it's like a family reunion for us.
It is.
But also just the volunteers that stayed on with us. We're so appreciative of them because of their knowledge and what, how to run it and what they've, done in the last 20 some years also.
Oh yeah.
So, so appreciative. And then we had new volunteers that came from Florida, and they were awesome.
See Gerald Todd there in the comments. Like,
right? Yeah, Gerald, how you doing, buddy? I missed my
that's the other JT.
That's the other
JT, and he and Jed and his son Trey came all the way from Florida.
Yeah, and they did an awesome job too. So
we just met.
Right. Yeah. No, Gerald. So I was hanging with Gerald.
We are blessed with a great crew of people that just want to help, and they're awesome. They just step up, and
I think we literally had 45 to 50 volunteers this year.
Yeah.
And you kind of overbook because you think maybe some people won't make it, something will happen. But
there was a couple that didn't, but
I think 99% of them made it. So we were definitely amply covered. So, but that's a good thing.
You can't have enough volunteers, and then there's not enough thanks to thank the volunteers. And I know this firsthand, not only from Truckin' for Kids, but my background and coming out of Folsom and working all the years I did with the chamber there. There was so many events that came and went, and those that are still there that are just the backbone of the chamber, the Folsom community. And it's just a great way the people come together and make it happen. Without the volunteers, the event couldn't happen. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
There's no monetarily, there's no way to do it. So God bless the volunteers.
Anybody who was at Truckin' for Kids saw the green shirts. We definitely stood out, and there was a lot of green shirts. Everywhere you looked was a green shirt.
Yeah, I got to bring Mr. Tim Sieben in right now. What's going on, Siebes? Look at you wearing the TFK hat. Good man.
Yeah, sorry it's a little dark. I have my office is actually behind this wall, and it's being redone right now. They got no floor in it, so I'm actually in the hallway right now, where my computer's sitting on a table. So while the office is getting done, so
Well,
it's a little dark.
That's okay, buddy. Hey, it's good lighting for you. It looks good on you.
We couldn't see the floor anyway. You could be in there.
I know, right? Exactly.
I mean, unless there's literally no floor and you'd fall.
Had you been in the green room there for a bit, but time to chime in, man. You're a big part of this and what goes on and what makes it happen. I got to say, I think you and Dan worked well together, and the fires that came up seem to have gotten managed and put out.
What fires? What are you talking about? No fires. No fires.
Yeah.
Hey, and listen, let me get this out there to clear some misunderstandings or whatever you want to call them. But there's two things going on here at this show. There's Truckin' for Kids and the track. And the track does what the track does, and we do what we do. And you have to understand that. And a big part of what the track does, they control the gates. So it's not like the old days, man. You can't call, Frank and Diane and say, hey, I'm at the gate, let me in. If it ain't right, whatever you're doing, and they can't verify whatever's going on, the people at the gate, the track, you're not coming in. It's just, unfortunately, that simple to explain.
Albeit, I will say the track, they did a great job. I want to thank them and their entire crew because, I mean, honestly, they make our job a lot easier, not having to worry about the things that they cover and handle. And
because we would need more volunteers.
Yeah, we'd need 40 more volunteers if we had to run the gate and manage things. And so they did a really good job, and we've got a great relationship, and that's a good thing. So,
and that's good because we're going places with them together. So we want to make sure that we keep that happening. So
I wanted to mention here, Tony Franco. Tony Franco chimed in down here. He is our jet dragster, muy caliente man. So I want to thank him for coming out, putting on a great show, and just for supporting us. That's appreciate that.
Hey, I want to tell Tony too. I was talking to some folks about the jet cars, and when I was a kid, it was Baylands Raceway in Fremont, California. And now, if you're an old timer, so to speak, which God, I guess I am these days, Baylands Raceway had competition, 2 jet cars, and of nighttime races, and 2 hydrogen peroxide cars, and those cars, the year I was there, literally while they're at the start line building pressure to get down the track. It's kind of a crazy way that they do what they got to do. They're building pressure, letting it off, building pressure, letting it off. Anyway, it's just like Irwindale. It's a small little intimate, a quarter mile back then, track with all this plywood, on the wall behind the start line. And when these guys were doing what they were doing, they literally blew the plywood off the wall, and big 4x8 sheets of plywood were flying up in the air. It was crazy. And I thought to myself, man, I much as I don't want to see that happen, boy, would that be a sight, in Irwindale if that was going on. But cool, cool run-ins back there, Tony. People, I mean, when that car of yours fired up, people ran to the track. It was one of those, what is that all about, moments, and people were jamming over there to check you out. So congrats on your.
And Tim, what's your stance on that? Don't stand in the middle of the track when he's taking off.
Yeah, no, this year I stood off to the side to everybody else. Last year I stood in the middle of the track, and I wanted to get a really good picture, with that jet car as it went by, and it literally knocked me down, knocked me on my backside, and I got about this much of the top of the car, and then the rest was sky. That was all I got.
No kidding. So you're standing there where behind the tree, or where were you? Where were you?
Right behind the tree last year.
Right behind the tree.
Well, in
and
the middle.
Knocked you over.
I know, knocked me right on my back. Yep.
Oh man, Caitlin says it shook us all the way down to the registration tent.
Yeah, it did.
Those things are no joke.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they really are.
Caitlin, thanks for that input, man. Well, that tells me that I need to, if we get things worked out better for next year, I want a camera where I wanted to position it there behind the tree. I'll have to make sure that camera is anchored and secured so that, that there's nothing that gets blown over. Miss April joining us into the show, and we have one more guest in the wings, and I'm going to bring her on in right now. I don't want her to feel like we put baby in the corner. So what's going on?
Nobody puts Kelly in the corner.
No, never. That would never happen. I can't see that ever happening. No. How are you doing, Kelly?
I'm fabulous. How are you guys?
Well, fabulous, full throttle fabulous at that.
Yes. The show was amazing. It was so well put together, ran smooth. The fans were off the charts. It was phenomenal. You guys did a really great job. We're super thankful you gave us a spot there to hang out and entertain and get loved on and give love out. And it was awesome.
That was kind of a hot rod corner there. You got you right there, and then right across from you was Hot for Teacher in their pit. So
John Miner behind you.
Yeah, exactly. It was awesome. We had so much fun and made some new friends, and it was beautiful. Counting down the days for next year's event.
I was going to say, I think we. Yeah, they're saying pump the brakes right now. They're just kind of coming in from this weekend. I think that there's probably going to be some growth on that whole corner. I think it's going to take off. I think we've got something special going on there with that, and I look forward to seeing how that grows and takes place. So thanks for coming and doing what you did, Kel. So tell me about the run. You sent me a text. What?
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, Maria, I can't type in the chat because I didn't log in somehow. I don't know how to do that. But Maria, my partner Maria, she's my right-hand gal and the co-founder of all of our organizations. And she said it was awesome. She had a great time. We really had an awesome time. And hi, Oscar. Sorry, everybody, I can't reply.
I got
You're
you
replying
covered,
right now. It's called interaction.
And I want
type discreetly.
I also want to thank you, Kelly, for helping us with the face painting on Sunday.
I'm glad it worked out.
Yes, it worked out.
They loved it. Yeah, they enjoyed it. So that's really awesome.
The other face painters were my nieces, and they've already signed up for next year. They're excited too.
They're going to be there the whole time. So,
yay! Awesome. That's awesome. So about my past. So I ran my personal best 60 foot. So it was a 1.23 seconds in the 60 foot. And I ran a 5.80, which is exactly what we're doing this weekend. I'm in the 580 index. So I was like, I hit my 580 and personal best 60 foot. And the fans, oh gosh, I'm all about the return road. I'm all about the fans. I'm not about being the fastest racer, but I love the fans. And that return road was booming.
It was, They were cheering when you were coming back down. That was there.
The stands were pretty packed too, wouldn't you say?
They were packed. It was
telling me that.
I didn't get to go see.
Well, I saw the first round. Admittedly, but I heard somebody saying they had to scooch people to get in a seat. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, my husband was recording, and he records from the front all the time by the tree. And after I passed, he scrolled up to the fans because he was like, wow, it was amazing. So that was beautiful.
Hey, Julie Robertson's chiming in, everybody. So hi, Julie. I'd love to have been able to have you out there with us this weekend. And thanks for helping us do what we do for you. So appreciate that.
Yeah, hope to see you next year, Julie.
Julie's our national contact with the Shriners Children's Hospital, and look forward to working with her. The crowd, the grandstands, both grandstands were filled up. And not only that, but there was everybody on the front along the fence, right there. Then also there was also all these people kind of further down along. I don't know if it was kind of like a VIP area of sorts, and I don't know what that is, but that was filled up. Everywhere you look, there was people. And Sunday, I think Sunday was a huge success for the races, and I look forward to more of that. I think that's just fantastic opportunity that we were able to capitalize on this weekend. So congratulations on that, guys.
Yeah.
TW McDermott, what's going on, T-Dub? Good to see you, buddy. What's happening in the drag racing world too? You're breaking it into 60-foot increment, 5/8 increment of time. I mean, there's so many different things that are measured when you guys run down the track. What's the number one thing you're trying to get done? I mean, besides safely make it to the end and back.
That's the number one thing.
The tree.
Yeah.
The tree, right, Kelly?
What's that?
The tree.
Yeah, I reaction time. Like, I mean, I'm all about the launch mostly. Like, of course, I want to do I don't want to go under. I don't want to go over 5.99. Like, I want to be under the 6s. So anywhere in the 5s, I'm good right now. I love a good 60-foot. I love a little wheelie. I like a big wheelie, but little wheelies will be good enough, so we don't hurt the car. And yeah, I'm all about. I did get a good reaction time. I don't run the sportsman tree anymore, and I did that day. And I used to be really good at it because I practiced. I mean, I was like 25 passes in a night, back in the day. So I ran a .058 reaction, which I was pretty happy with. I'm a foot brake. I don't have a trans brake. So I was pretty happy with that reaction time. So it was just a successful weekend.
And tell everybody what a hole shot is.
A hole shot is when you get them off the line and you stay at front the whole time. So they never catch up to you. You're always in front. The guy that I raced red lit, so he lost right off the bat.
So Oscar won on a hole shot against Mario, who had a quicker elapsed time on Sunday. And I don't know if a lot of people caught that or not, but that's why that happened. And congrats to everybody in the super drag class. You guys did awesome. Trucks were sounding fantastic. Everybody was running fast as heck. Just a great show all the way around that way.
It was phenomenal.
So Jacob Gunderson's in the audience here. Such an exciting, awesome show. Jacob is becoming part of Team 10-4, I'd say. Was out there shooting a couple of photos this weekend.
Yep. We brought him in special from Wisconsin to help us with photography because we're all kind of preoccupied and realizing that it's really hard to get pictures and run the shows. So brought Jacob in specifically just to take pictures and some video. And let me tell you, thank you, Jacob. I have over 4,000 pictures to go through. And that's just Jacob. I also had Tim and my own and Stephanie and anyone else who's going to send them. So when it's
sounds like a lot of Crown and Cokes to me, man. Yeah. Or I don't know which one you're doing. You switch around. So what's the flavor of the month? What are we doing?
It would be Makers and Coke.
Okay, you know what, and I like Makers. I think that's a good bourbon, man. I like it. Yeah, good
also,
stuff.
Also, Jacob, the last night that we were there, we got to take him to In-N-Out. He was so excited.
It capped off his California adventures. It was his first time he's ever been to California or Truckin' for Kids. So he was like a kid in a candy store, and it was nice to feed off that energy.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Jacob. You were awesome.
Yes, Jacob was. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, Dan, but Jacob jumped in. He said, hey, we got to do this for old time's sake, referring back to Louisville. But Jacob manned the Studio 10-4 Live mobile cam when we did the walk around of Rod Pickett's RV. So that's Jacob on the hand cam there. Yeah. He did a great job as always. And I got to tell you, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and go, what was your favorite? What was the best? I can't even do that. So all I can say is, you can make mention of any trucks that were a standout to you, but definitely Rod Pickett's RV. I mean, if I had to go RVing or was going to go RVing, that's how I'd like to go.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, right. Well, John, I want to mention the light show. I don't know if how many people were there to see it, but I've been to light shows, and this one was so energetic. I mean, people were just interactive throughout the light show. They lots of music, obviously, and lots of horns. But every time you walked up to a truck, you had the truckers talking to people, and they were just getting out there, and it was one of the more energetic light shows I've seen, and it was a lot of fun that evening. So.
Well, the TFK light show, I think it should be, if it isn't known, it is the loudest light show in all of truck shows.
I have no doubt.
We're talking music. We're talking Jake breaks. We're talking mariachi bands. You name it. It's loud.
No, live mariachi bands.
Oh yeah, live. Yeah. No, it was like TFK of old with all the bands and barbecue and everything that was going on, man. It was like old times back there at the show this weekend. And the one thing that you left out that it's kind of a new thing is these guys that are, they're putting lowrider kits on their trucks now, and their trucks are jumping and, shaking and moving. And I'm like, God dang, guys, I don't know, man. But, to each his own. Okay.
They're dancing.
They're dancing. Yeah. It kind of reminded me of the dancing horses, that lift do their thing. That was kind of what it reminded me of. But, there's something for everybody at that show. I did miss a few guys that I wished would have been there that really add to the show, but you know what, we had some others that filled in and made it happen, and they filled the gaps, and a lot of cool stuff was going on there. So
this has been my distraction, so I apologize.
Oh, what a good distraction.
Tell them the story about how you got her or him. I'm not sure, Tim. Tell the funny story about that.
Well, yeah. So we found we were looking for a mini Aussie. We found a breeder, and we were interviewed, and the breeder said, "Oh, we love you. Come and pick up your dog," and we were going to come get her. But then
you were interviewed.
What?
You were interviewed?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They want to make sure they're going to get home, but
and you passed. I'm impressed.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. So anyway, when we found out that the breeder was Cody Davis's sister-in-law.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small world, So, so we talked to Cody. At in fact, we were supposed to pick her up right after TFK and last year, and Cody said that he said we should have told me. I'd have brought her down. And it's like, well, if I had known about it before, I'd had to bring her down. But yeah, so no, that's Molly, and she's our second mini Aussie. So,
well, that's distraction. Yeah. And it is a small world. Speaking of small world, there was a truck there that's an older classic, not only TFK show truck, but many other shows. And that was, oh my gosh, Sandvik truck. And it was Bill Sandvik's son had brought the truck. So, kind of cool to see the Sandvik's representation.
And it was the same truck. It just didn't have that mural on the back anymore.
No, yeah, the mural was gone. So, Bill, Marie, if you guys are watching, listening, whatever, word gets back to you, man, we would love to have you guys back out at TFK and get you back in the mix. It was super
Isaac, hello. Huh? Bring her out.
Yeah. Would love to see that happen.
And I'd like to mention what Henry Velasquez there, Oscar's brother, he said that Mascaro 389 bull hauler was top notch. It absolutely was. Everybody was taking pictures of that mint green with the Vera shield on top. That thing was pretty darn cool. I don't think he won any awards, but very cool truck.
Well, you know what? It's anybody's guess how the awards are going to. In fact, why don't you tell everybody, Dan, real quick, how does the award setup work here at TFK? It's a little bit different than everywhere else.
It's the same as some shows, but we don't have official judges. Everything is either people's choice or competitor's choice, or it's a category that you win, like drag racing or longest tow, which is who came from the furthest, largest fleet. I mean, these are not judged. You win them or you don't, but. So we just put everything in the hands of the people and of their fellow competitors. So we still handed out, I think, 22 trophies. That's a pretty good amount. That included racing trophies as well. But still, it's pretty thin air. If you get a trophy, it's something pretty special. And obviously Rod Pickett's RV, I'm not sure if it was people's or competitor's choice, but it won one of the big trophies. So. And 10 West Towing did really well. They won like 3 big trophies with their big orange wreckers. And heavy haul.
Yeah, they drag raced those records down the.
Yeah, they did.
That was fun to watch, man.
They put them down the track. I don't know if it was a drag race.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I was briskly walking, and I think I could have won. But
yeah, they ran them.
50-ton rotator. It doesn't go super fast.
So I have
really good.
I have a you heard it first here, and I haven't even said anything to you guys, but something that struck me this weekend, and it's just overwhelmingly, was we need to have a most California trophy for a truck. And it's just there's trucks that just exude the California thing that we have that a lot of just everybody else doesn't have or doesn't do. Number one, 2-axle trucks that are just badass. And that usually goes into the hay hauler categories.
I know somebody who'd probably win it every year then.
Yeah. I got a feeling you're right. And I know who you're talking about. And I'd have to agree. I'm going to tell you something. I got glitter all over the floor of my truck still from that.
I got glitter everywhere.
Yeah. My car. I mean, I went to clean it out.
Looks like a strip club in here.
Yeah, no, I said, honey, I promise that's from the truck show.
We should. I see Stephanie join the chat here. She also flew out from Wisconsin and helped us. She does a phenomenal truck check-in and helps the guys get their registration packets and get parked. And she worked her butt off all weekend too. So glad she's like our bucket packer lead. So she's like runs a tight ship. She's like, let's go. She creates this assembly line, and so she provides a lot of help. And
there's the guilty party right there. Yes, thank you, Annette.
Thanks, Annette.
You're welcome.
Love it. No, I gotta say, and I hope we further that conversation a little bit. I would love to have that become part of the award package that goes out to everybody, and an opportunity to have that. I think the trucks would dig it. I think the guys would dig it. Be awarded most California. You
just have to remember who's going to judge it, who's going to vote for it. You have to. It has to be something that's people or competitors' choice.
Yep. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out. But I would love to see it. I think that'd be a great Studio 10-4 live award. Victor, what's going on, buddy? Well, that show is hard to judge, and it's better that we do it the way we do. That way, there's no politics, arguments. It's not. It's
the truth of the matter is most guys say it's not about the trophy, and we just instill that. I mean that we agree, and I'm not going to lie. There's still a few people that want us to add some classes and want to have a few more trophies, and I get that. It's just that's not what we're going to do. I mean, that's just not what we're about. We're truly about getting together. It's a good time for a great time for
good cause.
It's a great time for a good.
You just
always a great time for a great cause. You didn't get it right, Tim. It's a good time for a great cause.
I didn't have something to stare at to get it right. Sorry.
This just turned into Hollywood Squares. Call in for the win. Right? Call in for the block. Where's he at?
All kidding aside, that's what it's really about. And most people say that's why they go to truck shows. And I suppose we just put their feet to the fire on that one and say, all right, well, then that's what we're going to do. And the few that want it the other way, they can come. There's lots of other shows that do it the other way, and that's okay. Lots of shows to choose from. That's just not what we're going to do. Really don't want to be about drama. Really don't want to be about that stuff. So,
Kelly, what you got coming up, and can we help your charity, Mavic, at all? What can we do for you?
Coming up as in our nonprofit, Mavic's Community Outreach.
Yeah.
We don't have anything scheduled right now. Well, I'm going to be bringing Stacy out to McKinley's Children's Center, their school, in May 14th, I think it was May 14th. And I'm going to share 2 groups. There's about 90 kids I'm going to be sharing with about the motorsports community. And
explain a little bit about what Mavix does. People might not know.
Okay, so Mavix Community Outreach is a nonprofit who introduces foster children and troubled teens to the world of motorsports. And then with that, we can connect them with some other nonprofits who offer trade school scholarships. So we'll give them, a passion, because you're not going to go out to see racing and not get a passion, because it's like, wow. And then with that, we can give them an outlet to, advance their lives and become the best selves, and have, have it offered to them so it's not out of reach, So yeah, we get to work with the foster kids and troubled teens, and my heart is definitely in that. And Maria, I mean, she's such a great partner to have on board. Anything we do, she's like, yes, let's do it. Yes, let's go. Yes, she's my backbone. So
you had wings on right now. I think you were in heaven and you're an angel with the bells going off back there.
Oh my God.
Honestly, it looks like you're in my mom's backyard. She has that little fence, a little bit of grass. She's got some.
That's funny. I'm at my parents. I'm at my parents' backyard.
Yep. But when you first talked about Mavix with me, and I remember us talking about it, I mean, it's interesting because you're right. When you say introduce them to motorsports and you bring them to an event like ours, you realize there's, how many aspects there are that you're introducing these kids to. It's not just about racing. It's about wrenching, about mechanicking, about people taking pictures, about announcements in the booth. I mean, there's advertising, there's vendors, there's so many aspects to motorsports. Yeah, maybe they're not a gearhead, and maybe driving a car doesn't excite them, but maybe taking pictures or running the starting line, or who knows, something else. So
seriously, so many avenues. Yeah, absolutely. So it's awesome. Yeah, we love it. We love working with the kids. It's what keeps our souls full and happy.
And if people want to check you out. If people want to check you out in Irwindale, you're running every week down there on Thursday nights. Is that right?
We pretty much run every Thursday. This week we're not running Thursday, but we're running Friday testing. Saturday is the Grudge Fest. You can find me on Full Throttle Fabulous on Instagram. Our nonprofit website, we're always looking for donors and partners and assistants, is www.mavixcommunity.org. We'd love you to jump on, take a look at what we're about, look at our mission, and I'm sure it'll fuel your passion too. So,
and I can find you on Facebook as well too. That you've got your own page on there as well. So, more information and more to look at there for anybody that wants to get better acquainted with what Kelly's doing, and in the charitable side of the world, and then of course racing that badass Camaro.
That's right.
You know what I didn't get from you, darling? I did not get the new sticker.
Dang it! So, okay, send me your address. I'll send some over to you.
We'll have to do that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna let you go, and I appreciate everything you did for us over at TFK this weekend. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you. Love you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of. It's such a great community. Oh yeah, baby. That's
we
right.
Got on our beer fridge. We do.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
I'm sorry. Our other fridge.
The other fridge.
We don't need a whole refrigerator for our beer.
You don't drink beer, do you, Dan? No.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Kelly. Much love and a pleasure to hear and see you again. Take care.
Love you all. Bye.
Kelly
Tim,
Barr
are you standing?
Anderson.
Are you standing up?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I have a raised up desk, so I have a raised up desk. That's why April was so short.
In the hall?
She actually stood on a box so she could be seen here.
Little comments there from Miss Julie Robertson about Kelly and of course all the goings on here on the West Coast with us at TFK.
There you go. I'm drinking my water.
Yeah.
My Shriners Cup.
Yeah, that's what I'm drinking too, is water. Wait a minute.
Just having a little shot of water.
Shot of water, man. I got to balance that out. Yeah. So what's going on with how things went this weekend on the, I hate saying it, but the analytics? You got a couple of things you want to share with us out there, Tim?
So as Julie stated earlier, we had 295 trucks on the lot. We're going to round that to 3, so you're probably not going to hear that number again, because that's the way truck show promoters work, which was up 2025 from last year. We did have room for a few more, though, so don't think next year we're not going to grow a little bit. But here's the cool thing.
No, I mean,
they were lined up on Saturday morning over 2 miles to get in. And that's pretty cool. I mean, I know probably the guy 2 miles out was a little frustrated, but what are you going to do, right? I mean, this show has become like the heavy haul show. And so a lot of those trucks in that line were, 100 feet long.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that line, it adds up quickly. But, it was
So
pretty
probably
cool.
went pretty quick once the gates opened up.
Huh?
So it probably went pretty quick once the gates opened up. You're letting them in 100 feet at a time. So
right. But I mean, I don't think that line really went away till almost like 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
correct.
It was pretty amazing. So, we had 33 vendors. Looking at my notes here, don't think. Of course, we had awesome buckets, and everybody knows about the buckets. They were filled with like $200 worth of product, each one of them, donated from our sponsors and just different products and whatnot.
I liked how the bonus buckets looked because they were clear. You could see through them and see all the goodies in them. Man.
They were like a smoked clear, with a black lid, and they were filled. I mean, there was 5 or 6 full-size products in there, polishes and sprays, and you can look at our list online what was all in that. But just thanks to everybody who donated for that. I mean, I know those buckets. I mean, I hear all the time how excited people are. Some people said just register and go to TFK for the bucket. And I mean, I like that and I hate it, but I like that. Whatever gets you there, right?
Yeah.
So obviously we had our kid zone, which was a little bit bigger this year, and we had the folks that made the games and donated the games actually come and help run the kid zone. So he's just kind of a big kid. Those 2 guys are just kind of big kids too. So, they had a good time. And Shannon's mom, Polly, ran the whole coloring contest, which we made bigger this year as well. And it was just packed the whole time. We gave away 6 bikes on Saturday and 6 bikes on Sunday. And we absolutely, like I said, a thank you fest. Want to thank Premier Paving for donating those assembled bikes. Thank God we didn't have to build them all. And they did just an amazing job, and we appreciate that. And they came out. It happens to be my brother-in-law. Came out and helped us run our silent auction tables. And
hey, some of the kids that won those bikes, by the way, the looks on their faces, they were pretty dang excited when they found out they had won.
Right?
It's
I mean,
so much fun.
And there's so many kids out
fun.
there when we're announcing those winners. It's pretty cool. I think there were more kids waiting for the coloring contest results than people at the awards.
I think you're right.
No joke, right?
I do. I think you're right. Hey, I want to take just a second and say howdy to John Fearborn and Bubba Branch. What's going on, Bubba? We missed you, buddy. And I saw a truck when I was northbound going home yesterday, and it was a RGN hauling equipment, and the name on the door was Bubba's. I thought, I don't think that's him, but hey, never know, right? So, Bubba, good to see you in here today, buddy.
Hey, Bubba, we've put our request in for next year, and we were trying to get it a week later. I mean, I don't feel like we're competing with Wildwood. It's on a different coast, but it sure would be great if a few guys that go to Wildwood decide, hey, I'm just going to keep this train rolling, and I'm just going to roll west and go check out the beach in Disneyland and some actually nice warm weather, not some humid crap. And come out to California. So
just been called out.
Oh,
great to be
here. Down, mister.
Oh, I didn't mean to say that. So, we have not confirmed it yet, but we will see. So we are keeping all of those things in mind.
My fingers.
But, I would love to have that.
Another thing we added to our kid zone this year was, the character artist and the face painting. And I know that in years past there was face painting, but you'd be surprised. It's a little harder to find face painters than you think. And so we were able to train a few and create a few.
We trained?
Well, no, we bought the stuff. I guess we didn't train them.
You watched the YouTube video? Is that what you mean?
They trained themselves.
There were so many. There were so many people in that. I mean, every time I looked at those face painting tables, they were packed with people.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a really huge success.
And they did tattoos and
yeah.
And Tiffany, his sister, helped with that also, and
absolutely
her daughters. So that was really cool.
So let's see. We talked about that. Yep. We talked about the Loud Light show, and obviously the racing. We did a tribute to Ray Valenzuela, who passed away about a month ago in a auto accident, and they had his truck out there. He was a local trucker that came to TFK that actually volunteered, helped park trucks over the years with the old guard. And so his son drove the truck with 2 of his grandsons in it and did a little slow roll down the track to start our drags event.
And, I hear they had a quicker ET than the tow trucks.
No comment. But
just kidding, tow truckers. Just kidding, man. Bring your rotators out anytime, buddy.
Well, the rotators, that's what held all the flags up this weekend, and it was good seeing all those. We had three American flags that were, I don't know, they were giant, and it was great to see that.
Yeah,
definitely.
A lot of old glories flying in their colors there over TFK this weekend. It was great to see. Check out the Studio 10-4 live streams that are posted up on our Facebook channel and on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, and you'll see I captured some of those shots through the weekend. So you guys getting a look at what's going on out there. Patriotism was at a high, so it was nice to see that.
Yeah.
So, I also would want to thank our live auctioneer, Dan Dotson from American Auctioneers and Storage Wars fame. He came out and spent about an hour out there, and
that was really cool.
People were shaking his hand and taking pictures. So that was pretty cool. And he did a great job at we did some silent auction items and some live auction. He did the live auction portion, and that was pretty exciting. And if he's up for it, we'll do it again next year as well. So, I want to thank him for coming out.
I'll tell you what, Dan, between Mr. Dodson and Pickett, we're becoming a celebrity-filled show here, at least it's a start.
Well, yeah, they're going to have their show soon, and that was a big talk with Matt's, and definitely. I think it's going to be exciting to see what comes of when their show actually lands.
Yeah.
What it looks like and how popular it really is yet to be seen, but it's going to be. I'm sure that's going to be pretty awesome. So we need more truck recognition out there. There just isn't a lot.
And Rod let us know that there's network interest now too from some of the network bigs. So there's a lot of stuff to get shaken out before this thing lands where it's going to land, or it'll be on multiple access points. So it's exciting to see it happen again, and can't wait to see it be a part of our culture again, man. They did so much back in the day with what they had in Trick My Truck and the whole gang, what they did. I mean, and it's a love-hate thing for a lot of the guys because of how it went, but you know what? It broke ground. It changed the culture, and
I think it's mostly love. Come on, we love that stuff. It was great.
Yeah. It was great at the time.
It was groundbreaking, and
Now you look back and you're like, oh, okay.
Maybe it went sideways, but even those guys will admit that. But you know what it was something new and exciting, and honestly, it opened up the truck show world. I mean, from that show on, that really changed the face of truck shows and the popularity of building trucks and customizing. I mean, it really pivoted on that show. Started a lot.
It did.
And, we live in that world as well. So
it really opened the eyes of either prospective manufacturers or ones that were already manufacturing a few things, that there's a whole market out here for custom truck pieces, parts and different things. And look at us now, man. Gosh, there's something everywhere you turn around. There's something on a shelf that could, be something that's cool and shiny and available, where most of us back in those days, we were making all of our stuff just like the guys in Trick My Truck. So right on. Well, any other great things we want to share about TFK before we close out on TFK on this show today?
Yep.
No, I think we covered most of it.
Okay. Do we want to say get ready for November?
Not yet. Before we move on, so I just want to put a few special thanks out. I mean,
Okay,
obviously,
let's do
all
it.
of our volunteers, all of our sponsors, everyone who came out and participated, the spectators, all the companies that donated products for the bucket and the auction. I mean, obviously, Shriners for being a great organization that we support, that supports us back.
Yeah.
Our presenting sponsor, NTA, and those fine folks at 10-4 Magazine. I heard they're nice.
Gotta
folks.
love those guys.
I heard they're good folks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really nice folks. And I also want to mention Dickerson Custom Trucks for building those amazing trophies that we got that we hand out.
Absolutely.
They do that every year. And, you know, we mentioned Stephanie, Jacob for coming out, Roger and Annette for bringing out our trailer, and just the whole Magini family for being supportive and just being a part of all of our TFK and 10-4 family. Her mom, Polly, for coming with us and, you know, spending a week with us. I'm sure she's resting up too. She's like, you guys are crazy. And lastly, Miss Jean for taking over her house and her life for about a week.
Yes.
So thanks for putting us up and putting up with us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I still have to go back and clean up.
We left a little bit mess. Yeah. We'll be back soon enough.
Yeah.
And Jim and April saying, I mean, I wouldn't want to not include you in that as well.
Wow.
You guys are a big part of everything that all of this show is. So thanks for everything you guys do as well.
Yeah.
And for the sacrifices you made to be there. I know you missed some stuff, and we appreciate that. You know, we all do what we need to do, right? And so you needed to make some sacrifices this year, and we appreciate that.
Yes, we love Gene.
And before we talk about November, because we don't need to talk much about November, we also had a magazine sort of slip in under the radar while we were doing all of this. We haven't really had a chance to talk too much about that. There it is. So kind of we have some expanded coverage on Matt's and the big rig build off in that.
Yeah.
I think one of the most bitching covers we've
build-off
ever had
winner.
right there.
And, you know, I think I didn't have time to go back and look, but I think that was the first time we did an interior on the cover. I think. No.
You did an interior when you were in the picture.
That didn't count. You're right, though. You're right. I was on one cover. I was
Wow, Miss Shannon coming down with the info.
Well,
That wasn't really-
I gotta remember things.
Yeah, you're
every
right.
once in a while.
So there was a company that was making RVs out of trucks, and I was sitting in one at Matt's and got my picture and ended up on the cover, and everybody made fun of my white socks and black shoes and black pants. But hey, that's okay.
Me too.
That's okay.
Hey, Pete Zamora, of course, one of the longtime volunteers chiming in on us here and commenting another great show. Glad to be a part of it. Glad to have you be a part of it, Pete.
Thank you, Pete.
Yes, Pete.
So anyway,
so we
pick
have a new magazine.
Pick up the new magazine. I got to apologize. I'm supposed to be working on the website right now, and I'm here. And so it's going to be a day or two late getting up. Normally it comes up on the 1st, which would be today, but it will either be tomorrow or the next day. But I promise you, before I rest, I will get it done. So, thank
Here's
you.
one of our super drag racers there, Chili Dog. Actually, not. He ran that thing as stock.
Stock or super stock?
Chili Dog, clear us up on that. What class were you in? I thought you were in stock on that truck, but anyway, I just, and I don't know if you guys heard me or not. I just got to say, I think it's one of the most badass covers that's been on 10-4. It just pops. The inside of that Davis Brothers big rig build off truck, super stock Chili Dog. Yeah. There you go, buddy. Thank you. And listen, guys, get a subscription, man. Quit worrying about where you're going to find the magazine out and just get a subscription. Simple. It comes to you and you have your copy of 10-4 delivered to wherever you tell us to deliver it to, which incidentally, we need to get my address changed on that too. So we get it over here at the house now. But if you get your own copy delivered at home, you're solid gold, man. And you know what? Pick one up for a friend or a family member, or if you got a business where you can pass out the magazines, get a 5-pack. And have them there. And listen, if you're a big business and, somebody that's got tons and tons of traffic, maybe you're a rack guy and we can get a rack out there to you and get that going. So let's make sure we're aware of that. get yourself a subscription from 10-4 at the very least. So great job on the cover. Looking forward to seeing the website updates and changes that come on with that. Job well done, everybody. We're out of time. So anything else you guys need to close with? Or are we good?
I think you
I think I said everything I needed to say.
All right. Well, I'll close it out with this. Again, can't say thank you enough to all the sponsors that make it happen, especially the premier sponsors. You guys, you make what happens possible for Truckin' for Kids and for the kids, and that's what it's all about. So
we did have a new diamond sponsor come on board this year, and that was Rush Truck Centers, and that was pretty cool.
Right.
I want to thank Steve over there at the Sylmar branch for jumping in and making a big contribution and being a big vendor, and that was pretty cool. I hope that we can nurture that relationship and continue it, and definitely
like to build on that one and get more. And
NRT, they were the other diamond sponsors, so they're great too.
Yeah,
I think they ran out of swag, man. They had a tabletop covered as stuff. I think they ran out.
That's awesome.
That wouldn't surprise
me.
They're
throwing it at everybody.
They also won largest fleet. I believe they had 13 trucks there. So
there was some pretty impressive fleet representation on the show. And check out the light show Saturday night, guys. I featured one of those fleets, and I'll tell you something. I was impressed. There was and I don't know if it was them or the parking guys or together, but they had those trucks lined up perfect. And they really look good all lined up. There's probably about 6 or 7 or 8 trucks in a row that look just great. So good job, Team 10-4. Way to go, TFK. Look forward to 2025. Wow. 2025. We'll see you guys again down in, wherever we see at, I guess is kind of the best way to put it. And listen, it's no secret. That place has sold 3 years ago. So it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah.
And not just TFK, but anything that's going on down there moves to another location. So, whatever, swirly trucker rumors you might all be hearing, the reality is, yes, the show will move at some point. We just don't know when.
And TFK will be there until that place closes down.
Right.
There you go.
Yep.
Or we fill it, or we completely fill the lot.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we were real close. We were close.
Yeah. There was 4 lanes left open. That was it. 4 rows.
Yep.
And I counted 22. So I'm sticking with that number. 22 rows of trucks and 300 trucks.
We'll trust you on that, John.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I know we don't have time to talk about it, but we certainly can mention November 2nd and 3rd at Kern County Speedway, just outside Bakersfield, will be the 10-4 Trucker Rodeo. Lots of trucker games and competitions, and it's going to be like a festival for truckers. It's going to be fun. We're going to be on the circle track. There'll be a brand new 8-mile concrete drag strip. We'll be doing, I don't know. I'm not going to say because we don't know, but we're gonna figure out some fun stuff, but not today. Next 2 weeks, very soon.
Tomorrow.
And as soon as that program gets developed, we will start talking about that a little bit more. But it's going to be fun. All I know is that event's going to be all about just fun.
There you go. We'll get TFK 2024 put to bed and start out on the new one. Incidentally, too, next 3 shows that Studio 10-4 Live will be at will be Souza Memorial in September, Bobtail Apparel in October, and the one we just spoke about, the Truck Rodeo in November. So those are for sure the 3. We've got Brooks, Oregon. Don't know if we're going to make that one yet or not, but we haven't. Team 10-4 needs to figure that out. But those are some upcoming West Coast shows that you guys need to all get on your calendars and mark down. Go over to 10-4magazine.com. Get those things marked off on your calendar so you know when to be there and where to be at. All right, y'all. Listen, pleasure as always. Take care, team. We'll see you soon. Keep the shiny side up, everybody out there. Red Bluff. Yeah, Red Bluff and Net. Not sure yet. We need to talk about that one too, probably. But in the meantime, we'll see y'all next week, Wednesday. Same place.
Thank you, John.
Bye.
Same studio live channel. Take care, guys.
All right.